Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Movie of the Year's Oscar Draft 2020.
Yeah!
Wow, we've made it. Yep, we're here to review. I'd love to know sort of the history of this program. As we know, I am a visitor. I'm a guest here.
From another land.
From another land. So I don't know much about this, but I do know that it seems like Ryan hangs his sense of masculinity on his previous victories here. Am I getting that correct?
I think that's correct, but he has won so much that maybe that's a worthwhile thing.
Maybe just the virility is undeniable, and he brings it to all sources.
So I mean, every man sort of hangs his masculinity on something, and it's ultimately always sort of ridiculous, right? So,
all right, Braveheart, isn't that the speech
Greg.
that he gave?
Yeah. Wait, Greg. What do you hang your masculinity on? Pray tell.
I guess I would say my likability, because I like kind of everything in my life is based on my likability. Any failure to my likability is a failure to the whole system. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Kind of manipulative.
Deep.
Mike, what about
that's
you?
deep inside Greg.
I hang mine on my bathroom counter because I like to blow dry after a shower.
That's silly.
If we're gonna dig into the history of this show, Kate, I do think normally the guest host, and we like the Oscars themselves, we always have a guest host. Last year we had to cut Kevin Hart because we didn't agree with the tweets. But the guest host normally does have a song and dance number, and you just kind of dove right in there, and it's a more serious endeavor. Are you refusing to do the musical we wrote for you because of the kind of tragic year we had, or what's going on?
Yeah, kind of an observation of those we've lost.
Yes.
In a moment of such solemnity, to dance about a little jig in a little marionette costume just because 3 men told me so. My conscience keeps me from doing such.
I love a host that is about to go out and do the intro, but says, you know what? Move the fucking graveyard segment to right now.
Now. Well,
And then
Hugh
just
Jackman
stands
is
there,
waiting in
arm
the wings
crossed.
bawling that he doesn't get to sing right now.
Welcome to
now
the
before-
show. We've lost so much.
Yeah, the in memoriam section up top.
Just right in the beginning.
Let's get it out of the way so we can have some fun later.
Yeah. No time to die, baby.
That's next year.
That's next year. Okay, so it seems like, Ryan, are you feeling confident? Are you feeling like
No.
trajectory? No?
I think
Why?
that it's really hard to feel confident in this year where everything was confusing. All release dates were moved around. We're trying to get the most nominations possible, and we have no idea how the Academy is going to award movies. Also, we don't know if the Academy is like, all right, fine, no more racism. Or if they're going to be like, one more year of
more
racism.
job.
Let's just do
Just
one more
for
year.
one for the road.
And that makes it hard. Like, there's so many good movies that weren't racist. Like, I don't know if we're going to get, or if they're going to award those movies.
My instinct is that they have swung Moonlight and then Parasite. I think that they think it's a way better advertising technique.
But in between there,
include these
Kate,
things.
there was a Green Book.
Is Green Book.
In between there is Green Book that I willfully forgot in that moment.
Here's what a lot of people don't remember about Green Book, though, and I think it's just fair to say. Viggo Mortensen at one point takes a pizza and folds it like a taco. It's uncut. It was a different time. And he eats it like just folded like a whole pizza. So,
Yeah.
that Green Book was ahead of its time in some ways.
No, Green Book really talked about pretty severe racial inequity towards Sicilian Americans in this country, and I'm glad that someone
you,
was brave
Kate.
enough.
Now,
Yeah.
finally, our people are represented.
Our people are represented. Yes, Mike and I share the old country.
It is the old country, and it's bullshit that it is the last race. Everybody's fine with saying it's a me. I'm making fun of
Everyone's
Sicilians.
okay.
I think everyone's
Yeah.
trying to get like the last ones in. It's like you can do that with the Irish and the Italians now, but
Oh,
like
God.
the clock is
I'm
really
just
ticking.
Started on their Irish.
I'm jamming so
Don't get me
many.
started on the Irish. Amen. Sing it, brother.
I'm jamming so much offensive Italian material in
Yeah.
right now, just because I feel like my time has come.
I
We're
don't
all
like
gonna
that
be
you call
explaining
tomato
tweets.
sauce offensive
Yeah.
Italian material, right?
Ryan, is that red that's very much given way to gray at this point? Is that a luck of the Irish in there, or what are we
Yes.
picking up on? Yeah,
It's
Irish
not
thing?
goddamn Italian, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Greg, what about you? What's your ethnic makeup?
I am so glad we've gotten to this part of our relationship where it's like, hey, what kind of white is everybody? I'm Irish and German stock.
Yeah.
So there you go. I enjoy potatoes and sausage.
Thick legs. Yeah.
Actually, Kate, all the Greg heads know I've got very shapely legs. Okay. So.
Well, you're leading all those fake Peloton classes all the time. That's going to shape you up.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
When you're doing the fake spin classes every day, you're going to get ripped.
Irish or otherwise. Okay. Does anyone else have something to say
about race or about movies?
About race in America.
About movies, and specifically how you think you're going to individually fare in this bracket. Greg, Mike, I've asked you before, who's the beta, who's the omega? What's your prediction this time?
I'm a sigma. I just learned about this one. It's not even in. It's not even on the pyramid, and it's even better than alpha.
I've done this two different ways. I have tried really, really hard, and I have absolutely phoned it in. And much like jogging, the harder I try, the worse I actually do. So
the more weight you gain somehow.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Now I've just I'll be honest. I typed 2020 movies into Google, and I'm just gonna do my best. I had a year where I really practiced, really tried, and I blew it still so bad. So I guess I'm a cuck. Is what it is? Is that the one? Is that the lowest? The cuck,
hey, honey, welcome to late capitalism.
Did you say lake capitalism?
Lake capitalism.
I don't know you, but I got a houseboat.
All right. Do you want to explain how the show works?
Yes, I would love to explain how the show works. So we're doing what the men in my life have told me is a draft, which, if I'm understanding, means that each of us are going to go one by one and pick a total. I think we're picking. Is it a total of 4? Correct? 4 movies to be on. 5 movies to be on our Oscar draft team. Which my understanding of that is that we are looking for the most nominations possible in terms of the 2020 Oscar nominations. I'm doing a bad job explaining this. Give me a second. I want to try.
That was perfect. What is important is that wins do not matter.
Yeah,
it's just those sweet
that is
nominees.
The thing. So in today's Oscar draft, what we're going to be paying attention to is not which category these movies will be nominated, but how many nominations total. That will tell us in the end that whatever 5 movies each of us collect, how many nominations we gather in total will be the determining factor in terms of who wins this bracket.
We'll determine if you are a good, awesome, bright, strong person or a cuck, a simple cuck.
Yeah.
What if you already know right at the top? I just said I was a cuck. I just said it 2 seconds ago.
You don't have to go through the pain of this draft at all, Greg. You just kick your legs back and watch us.
But can I be on it? Don't
you could
sleep
just
with my
draft
wife.
Trolls World Tour every single round.
Yeah.
I would love to be a cuck as long as you're not fucking my wife.
I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to drink soy milk, and I don't want anybody to sleep with my wife because that would make me so sad.
Yeah. No, you guys are being very brave right now. Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah.
I also know for a fact that this draft, very importantly, is serpentine, meaning
yes, it is.
It's going to
Full
go
of
from
snakes.
myself to Mike to Ryan to Greg to Ryan to Mike to Kate. Then we'll probably take a break and come back.
2 Gregs, I do.
Holy shit! What a host.
So do we want to? Are we ready to launch in? I do get first.
I know.
Pick.
Kate, why don't we take a break and then we will dive right into it?
Excellent. Well, let's take a break and we'll dive right into it.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening so far. And let me just tell you that everything ahead of this commercial is much better than what came before it. That's my guarantee. While I have you here, let me tell you about a website. It's called yourpopfilter.com. And it's everything you need that's related to Pop Filter. Everything Mike, everything Ryan, everything Greg, everything Cassie, everything is there at yourpopfilter.com. While you're there, go to yourpopfilter.com/Amazon. Make that your new Amazon bookmark and do your shopping from there. That way, we get a little piece of the action and Amazon doesn't. Make sure you're also listening to everything that Pop Filter has to offer, which includes the Superhero Show, a podcast that covers every single TV show that's based on a comic book or comic book property, and Movie of the Year, where we sit down and try and figure out what is the single greatest movie of any given year. That's Superhero Show. That's Movie of the Year. And that's yourpopfilter.com. Rate, subscribe, review. Bye.
And we're back. Are we ready to begin the draft?
I'm so ready.
Yeah?
Oh, man, I'm fired up.
Me
Okay.
too, man.
I'm full
And I
of
get the
draft
first
picks.
pick.
I didn't know that you brought the pips to just back you up every time you say something. But I want to put out there right away that this is rigged, that you are hosting the show and you have first pick. Under protest immediately.
Kate, this is how Ryan wins every year, is he just
No, yeah.
lawyers up to the...
No, I think it's totally, that feels really fair. You gave me this this promotion and now attack me for it.
Kate, I'm actively rooting for you.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Well, that's because you're Missandrous.
That's true.
Yeah, I actually am disgusted by both of them. Kate, I'm pretty neutral.
Okay.
These are our
I'm
real
ready.
positions.
Yeah, it's true. I'm ready. I'm ready for the first pick.
All right.
I think in terms of nominations, it's pretty obvious who's going to get the most, and that's going to be the Chicago 7. I mean, between, oh my God. Okay. So we have the director, we have the screenplay, we have Sacha Baron Cohen, who I guarantee is going to get the award.
Doing the serious thing, right? He's not like hitting us with my wives, right?
Yeah. He's
Hanging
not
down
one
like
my
sleeve
wife.
of wizard, right?
Yeah, and I was listening to a Terry Gross interview today in which he talked about how complex his accent was, because it was Boston mixed with Berkeley, and so he's going to
Terry
The
Gross
whole
is such a
time-
pro.
Terry Gross
was like,
knows how
I
to
did
get
not
to it.
ask anything like that. And he was like, well, thank you for asking again. My
Yeah.
voice was very complex.
It's your
Yeah,
job
Mark-
to listen, Terry.
Yeah, I mean it's a stacked cast. I mean the number, I bet they get at least 2 supporting actor nominations.
And
Screenplay certainly.
Historically, the Oscars love, like, unsubtle, waving I have a message here, dick in your face movies. So I think Trials of Chicago 7 is perfect for that.
Especially something that is not controversial. Like this is such a neutered activist movie.
Like The Post.
Like The Post, precisely. So,
You
yeah,
hate The Post.
I really do.
You fucking take a shot at The Post, which
Every
I'm not saying
chance
is
I
a good
get.
movie, but you take a shot at The Post every episode.
It's, nobody talks about it ever, so I can't even say it's overrated. It's the most forgotten movie, but I'm going to beat that dead horse if I can.
It's the Avatar of newspaper movies.
Yes. So yeah, for me, it's the Trial of the Chicago 7.
It's a good pick. I think that Aaron Sorkin is an Oscar baby.
Yeah.
My fear is that there's so many Best Supporting Actor candidates that
They'll split the vote.
sort of cancel them out. But I know they're getting one.
They're definitely getting 1. I bet they get 2 between Frank Langella or Eddie Redmayne or Mark Rylance or whatever, however you pronounce his name. Yeah, there's
The
so
Oscars
many.
also like Rylance. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah, big fan of him.
Or Meryl
Unnecessary
Streep.
violence.
Voters are going to be like, there's so many people in there. I'm sure Meryl Streep was in there. Let's just vote for her.
She was in the movie Prom.
That's
this year.
shocking.
I
Wait,
know.
hold on. Did Prom come out in 2020?
It did. Greg.
Okay, hold
your
on.
list.
I got to make some notes here.
That's smart because to go to another movie I love this shit on, she was nominated and I think won for Into the Woods, a fine performance in a garbage movie. And by fine, I mean less than.
The idea of her winning for that is kind of insulting.
It's not a good organization, the Oscars.
You're right. Mike, it is your turn.
Yes.
So do you have a go-to?
Yeah, I think I respect the Oscars, and I know that they love young talent, and this name is that we're a buzz and a flood. They love Frances McDormand. I'm getting Nomadland as quick as I can. I think we're going to get Best Picture, we're going to get Best Director, we're going to get Best Screenplay, we're going to get Lead Actress. Fuck it, throw cinematography in there.
Yeah.
None of
Can
us
we
are sure
do?
what
Have
that
you guys
means.
seen it yet?
No.
No.
Can we do Best Supporting Actor? Best Supporting Actor, David Strathairn, one of my favorite all-time actors.
Who dat?
He was Pritchett Pierce in L.A. Confidential. He was Meryl Streep's husband in The River Wild. Just a guy who's been in every movie.
Yes, I do know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah,
He
I
wa-
had
he
never
wa-
known his name before.
He was the guy who sat next to Gary Marshall and said, you know what? I do think these girls deserve a chance to play baseball in a league of their own. How about that shit?
Oh, that guy.
Kind of brunette, kind of dorky.
Or host a podcast.
he should host a podcast.
No, or women can host a podcast.
He's saying we
as
should
much
think
as
of their
play
own.
basketball. Yeah.
For women.
Ryan's willful misogyny in that moment. Okay.
So yeah, those reasons are why Nomadland is my first pick.
Midland. Yes, excellent choice. Ryan, what about you?
So I just won.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Darn it.
There was a movie that came out that was about Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
That will win probably 0 awards, but will get nominated for fucking all of them.
Yeah.
I am taking Mank in the first round.
Mank.
That's fair.
Mank.
Not a bad choice. But I think that I do think you're overestimating. I think you're underestimating how much underestimating how much the Academy is probably actively trying to switch their PR a little bit.
But not
I
with.
don't
See,
know.
that's an argument about wins. That really is an argument about Oscar
That's
wins.
true. It
this
isn't
is-
about nominations. That's
This
true.
is a pick to soak up a bunch. It's like what Ryan said. It's not going to win anything. It's literally probably not going to win a single award, but it's going to get nominated for like 10.
But like
Yeah.
cinematography, costumes.
Yeah.
It's a period piece. It's about Hollywood. It's
Yeah.
in black and white.
They
I
love Hollywood at Hollywood.
I would have
They do.
taken this number 1. I got it number 3. I am stoked.
Nobody gets like sexually abused. It's about Hollywood without being about how Hollywood's terrible.
Right.
Yeah,
Totally.
you're right. That is their favorite kind. Greg, what about you?
Also, go back in the feed and listen to the 4 of us talk about that movie.
Yeah,
We had a
Yes.
great time talking about Mank.
seriously,
did.
we manked it up. Manks for the memories. That's what we said. Okay, so I think another movie that is probably not going to win a ton, but is going to get just nominated up the wazoo is First Cow. I saw First Cow. It is a staggeringly, achingly beautiful movie. Very
I
slow.
love First Cow.
So it's you got to go into it wanting to have like a slow meditation on nature and the like unchangeable nature of man and how like sort of the same story about trying to sort of keep each other under our thumbs is reproduced everywhere in the world across all times, but also how so are stories of love and it's really beautiful and a really good movie. And I could see it just getting nominated for like everything, cinematography, direction.
It should be. Nobody.
It was
at
my
this point,
favorite movie of 2020.
Yeah.
for sure.
Nobody knows how to where to put a camera where more than Kelly Reichert for sure. Greg, is it still? And I know this is awkward because we're about to move into the 2020 season, but is this your number 1 of the year?
Yeah, definitely. This would be my number 1 seed. I mean, and it's certainly our type of movie in that you watching it is part of the experience, but that's just the beginning of like really living with it and thinking about it and contemplating some of its deeper meanings and everything. And so it's one of these movies that feels like a deep pool that you could look into for a long time. And I think that also is something that appeals because it's like very elevated cinema. And so I think it's appealing to be like, we also do this. And I like the full breadth of cinema, obviously. I like big, stupid movies as well, but this is a very slow, contemplative, beautiful movie.
Yeah, it's both high art in many ways, or vaguely indie feeling, and the story, to quote my dad, is a nice story about nice people doing nice things, which is, it's his favorite.
I don't
kind
know.
of
There's
movie.
one fucking dickhead in there,
Yeah,
dude.
there's this
It's
one
true.
guy.
It's true.
It's that cow. It's the
It's
goddamn
the cow, that fucking cunt.
Well, if you were the first of anything, wouldn't you have a little bit of an attitude?
What an utter bitch.
First cow.
I'm not going to milk this one anymore. I think those ones were definitely the cream.
That's Bull.
What?
That's Bull.
Oh, that's Bull.
That's
Bull.
That's Bull.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one.
Not
That's
as
a
good
good
as
one, too.
Greg's, but
I was trying to
Again,
jump on, but apparently
wedging
I'm not allowed.
masculinity into a space in which it was not welcome. May we please have Greg's second
Boom.
pick?
Just talking about the cows, time to get serpentine with it and come right back to my pick. This one is going... Okay, actually, I'm going to change what I was going to do. I'm going to pick a movie that I know the Academy is going to think of as a movie, and so I have no worries that it will get not called a movie and then therefore not eligible to be nominated at all, and it's Promising Young Woman. I think this is going... I have not seen this. What I anticipate is going to be deeply challenging movie. And we were just like last year talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and how Quentin Tarantino builds up this expectation for violence and then this release of a different type of violence, but how you question yourself when you're enjoying the violence as much as you are. Personally, if this is violence like by a woman against sexual assaulters, I know for a fact that I'm going to feel really weird about that violence, and that feels like an interesting movie experience.
I'm so excited for Academy watchers to watch this movie and nominate it. I have not seen it yet. I have a show coming up about this movie. I'm so nervous about watching it. Like, I don't know how that's going to go, but I will say that Greg has picked 2 female filmmakers, and do you think that the Oscars are going to be like, oh, let's nominate 2 female directors for Best Director this year?
I always say this. The problem is that women are only like 5% of the population. So that's you're not going to find a lot of you're not going to find a lot of women in things.
Neither of the female filmmakers that Greg has picked are like super rah-rah nationalistic like Catherine Bigelow's Zero Dark 30, so I don't know if they'll pick any of them. They tend to go for women who have a real dude vibe in their movies.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was a woman.
Yeah.
Fuck Zero Dark 30. Now I'm just trying to think of all the movies I hate that I want to talk about.
No, there's a lot of them out there. Mike, what's a movie that you, if not love, expect to do well in this next Oscars ceremony?
Let me grab one right before that.
I was going to say I would love to hear Ryan's first.
And I think that I'm going to go with something that I do think is going to take down victories, and it's because of dead people. I'm going to choose Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and I think it's just going to unleash. And this is the type of movie that, like, I got to say it's not a great movie. It's a play that got turned into a movie, and you can feel it. And so it's not at the top of anybody's list, but the performances, like almost all plays that are turned into movies, are amazing, and it's going to get nominated for all of them. So I'm going to choose Ma Rainey.
And movie nay plays also could sweep in screenplay, because normally that's very sharp.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if
adapted, boom, bitch.
Adapted is the word that they would use when describing the screenplay. But it's also the kind of thing where, like, oh, Ma Rainey, you're definitely not going to win Best Picture. Mm-hmm. Here's screenplay. You know, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a shame how much this contest becomes a, like, this is Hollywood, just like giving people like kind of like token nominations.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in a weird way, the show seems to be kind of celebrating that. I mean,
or what's the NFL coach rule, Greg, where you have to interview a black person?
Oh yeah, and so then like when they know who they're going to hire, they really quickly bring in like the same 2 or 3 guys that have to interview for every job and then not get it, so that they can just hire their white buddy again.
And so Ma Rainey might just get those nominations, you know? And we've seen this year in, year out. You know, like Fences was a movie that I think won screenplay.
Both are August Wilson adaptations.
Hey, look at that. It's in this series that Denzel Washington, he's trying to do every single August Wilson play. But it's great for the Academy to be like, what did Denzel Washington produce of August Wilson's? Let's throw that some shit.
Oscar's so white? Look at these movies that we didn't get around to seeing, but that we hear are very good and are going to change things.
Maybe
in a really
I'll watch
positive
it
way.
someday.
Mike.
Now I will go. This is a long shot, but I don't want it to go away, so I want to steal it. But I think the Oscar, I'm going to say they touched the stove and burnt their hand with other things in the past, and they have seen how the world is reacting to the Golden Globes ignoring Minari. And so I think they're going to be like, oh, fuck, we don't want to get shit on like the Golden Globes are. Yeah. And so I think they're going to nominate it for quite a few things and not give it to any awards.
This is such a good pick. The Golden Globes, like, for Minari is an American-made movie by American people. All of them either, you know, white or Asian or whatever, but all American. But sometimes they're subtitles. And Golden Globe said, foreign movie. Look at those subtitles. And that was a huge controversy. And I do agree with Mike. I think the Oscars are going to be like, well, we
not
can
us,
at
though.
least be better than the Golden Globes, right?
Hashtag not all award ceremonies.
Right.
Okay, I'm ready for should we take a break now, or do we lock into my
Do one, and then
I'll
let's
do
take a
one
break.
and then we'll do a break. Excellent. So my second pick is going to be the Tom Hanks vehicle, News of the
God
World.
damn it!
I don't.
damn it.
Yeah, I mean,
thought I could
everything
get that.
about it, yeah, is so beautifully a Civil War veteran. Tom Hanks, kind of semi-topical in a way that isn't aggressive, but seems to speak on like it was hard then too, guys.
We thought that
I see
Greyhound.
a lot of these.
We thought that Greyhound came out in 2020 and was like, oh, we're the dad movie.
Daddiest
And then
movie.
Tom Hanks made a second 2020 movie that is the daddiest dad movie of all time. And
Yes,
I watched it
please.
the other night, and it's fine. It's borderline good, but it's Oscar thirsty. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Has Tom Hanks ever made a Zaddy movie?
Has he ever not?
Yes, he has not.
You're right. There's a couple times.
Yeah, Polar
Yeah.
Express.
This
is
man with
not
red
Zaddy.
shoes. I don't think. Come on.
You're right. There have been some faux pas.
But it's a period piece. It has Tom Hanks. It has a celebrated director. It's like it has all the stuff of like send drones in the air and film the American wilderness. Like I feel like I thought that I could wait for this movie, like to draft this movie like a round or two later. But this has Oscar all over it.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we lock into our third pick, let's take a quick break. And when we're back, we'll start with me again.
Hola, Filterinos. I just wanted to interrupt real briefly and say thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. If you want to support us a little more directly, you can go to patreon.com/yourpopfilter. There, depending on what tier you pick, $1 a month, $5 a month. If you're crazy, anything more than $5 a month, don't do that. You can get extra content. There's extra shows, extra series, behind-the-scenes stuff. You could pay for Ryan to draw you a picture. I can write you a poem. You can get the shirts off our very own backs. All of that and so much more over at patreon.com/yourpopfilter. While you're on the internet, you should check out Shady Monk. He does all the tunes you've been listening to. He's on Bandcamp, he's on Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever kids get their music these days that I'm too old to know. Shady Monk lives there. You can probably follow him on Twitter and Instagram as well. That's Shady Monk. Wherever you get music, check him out.
And we're back. We're back with our third round picks. I'm very excited. I get my third pick, which actually... there have been a lot of good choices so far, which makes it haunting for me because you guys have knocked out most of the movies that I wanted to do. However,
So long to go, though.
yeah, I think one that's going to be thrown a bone a lot because of how good it was this year, combined with like just enough edge for people to feel like it'll round out a category. I'm going to go with Sound of Metal.
Good one.
I think it was a great movie.
I wanted that one.
I think, and I don't think it's necessarily going to get a lot of these awards, but I do think that Riz Ahmed is definitely going to get a Best Actor nom. I think
Paul
that
Raci.
Paul Raci, are we
Raci's
come on?
absolutely-
Cross the fingers,
I think it's
guys.
not an insane thing to think that maybe Olivia Cooke gets a nomination. I mean, definitely she's been circling the drain of the awards circuit for a while with a lot of her work. And screenplay, editing, director. I think there's a lot here that people will feel comfortable, maybe even if it's just padding out a category.
What's crazy about this movie is that I think that you might get one Loudy.
Yeah,
Two Loudies,
absolutely.
you know, like
Sound design or whatever?
Yeah, the lack of sound may get this a Loudy or two.
Yeah, I think
'Cause-
you're exactly right.
When things are super loud, we notice, but when it's not loud at all, we also notice.
Wait, this is quiet.
All right, I believe we're ready for Mike, your third pick.
Yes, I'm gonna go with this. Again, going in the I don't know what it'll win, but they're gonna nominate a lot to look like they're not Oscars so white. And they're counting it as 2021, even though it didn't come out, or they're counting it as 2020, even though it came out 2021, is Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah, I think that's a fair guess.
I think we're looking at, actor, picture, all the big ones, and then they're not going to give it anything because Fred Hampton, is that right? Fred Hampton scares people still, so they're not going to give him any awards.
Yeah,
They're not going to want anyone associated with this movie going up and saying anything on TV.
Yeah, they're
into
like,
a live.
no.
I will say, as the person who's keeping track of the draft, I have to shorten things sometimes, and I wrote this down as Judas and the BM, and that's a very different movie.
Oh, a children's tale.
Yeah. He betrays his
Fables.
poops.
Yeah.
Daniel Kaluuya has a nom locked in for sure, and probably the win.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that the guy who was in Get Out and Black Panther was Fred Hampton. This movie is incredible. Even if you hate fucking, I'm so tired of like biopics and history and the up their butt Aaron Sorkin shit that everybody always does. This movie is insane. Please, please, please watch it.
Yeah.
I just think that it's going to get awards or nominations on the fringe,
Yeah.
and not get up into the big time awards.
And I am obsessed with Lakeith Stanfield. I think
Yes.
he is so good. And I think if he hasn't, I think he's a couple of years away from the Academy, like, recognizing his maturation as an artist. But I think that he has gotten better in every film he's done. For me, I can't look away from him when he's in a scene.
Yeah,
like he dominates.
for sure.
He absolutely, everything is in relation to him when he's on the screen. I absolutely love Lakeith. Good choice.
I think that the problem with this movie is that Kaluuya sort of is so different than what we've seen him before that he sort of steals the accolades. But Lakeith Stanfield is, I mean, what he has to go through in this movie, like what he puts us through, like he is as good, if not better.
Ryan, are you ready for your third pick?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the opposite of what Mike did. Mike is trying to get those Oscar so white votes, or like the reverse of that, and I'm just gonna get them. There's a movie with Anthony Hopkins and Olivia Colman, and it's
I thought I could wait on
I know. I thought I could wait on that one too. Fuck.
and it's about Alzheimer's, and I'm picking the father. That's guys, white people going through old man things. This is gonna be so many nominations.
You're so right. You're so right. And there's so many Academy favorites in that cast. It didn't matter what the performances were actually like.
They all have Alzheimer's, so they're going to vote over and over again for this movie.
There's definitely the fear factor in the Academy. They're like, well, I recognize you, so I'll nominate you again.
For sure. I do think that's a thing.
Yeah, it is kind of like, you're my, there are only so many faces that can kind of fill an old person's mind. They maybe have, and I'll tell you now, there's only space for either their daughter or their wife. It's not going to be the same one.
Yeah, that's always an unfortunate scene.
Yeah, that's always an unfortunate scene.
I don't feel like watching that movie because of that one scene.
Yeah, certainly it's in there. I haven't seen it, but if I
it's
were
in
a betting
there.
Man,
He's gonna grab her boob or something and be like, "Oh, you're looking saucy." It's like, "I'm not Mom, I'm me," and he's gonna be like, "Ah."
For me, it just depends on the website that I'm watching the movie on.
Oh, Ryan, you absolute catting card.
Yeah. Greg, what about you?
Okay, so this is my third pick.
And fourth.
Yeah. And fourth. Yeah, well, no, but this is my third pick. Ryan.
And fourth.
Ryan. Right now. Okay. Don't engage, Greg.
Don't engage.
I wanted that back and forth like 8 more times.
Yes, please.
All right. My main goal is to not have any movies that get 0 nominations. I'm drafting Soul.
Good.
I really liked Soul. It was not perfect in the end. Music is a big one. Animated is a big one. I could see it. Even maybe Best Picture-ish. I don't know. Maybe not that. But I could see it doing pretty well in the nom category.
I think this is far more than one. I think that it's I think it's the 2 Soundies of the Loudies.
Mm-hmm.
And then Trent Reznor wrote it. And they love inviting celebrities, right?
Trent Reznor wrote it?
It is the score. Or no, not the script, but the score.
I was like, wow, he's getting good.
Trent Reznor is out there doing like soundtracks every day.
Yeah.
Like this guy does so many soundtracks, it's nuts. And they're good.
Yeah.
They're
Thank
good
God
soundtracks.
he struggled with heroin. He'd be running laps around us.
Yeah, you know what? I sign off on that.
Yeah, I think that's fair for us to say.
Thank God for that. Okay, and then I have to pick one final movie. And you know what I'm going to go with?
No, I think we have 2 more, right, Ryan? You said that we had 5 picks each?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Damn. Okay,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad because now I'm going to get even more picks to do. I'm going to go with The Assistant. And here's my thinking on this.
Yeah.
You can't just totally, if you're Hollywood, you can't just totally ignore this.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to look like a bunch of idiots out there. You got to be like, no, we understand they're used to be a problem.
Yeah.
There
nudge, nudge.
used to be a couple of
I
bad
can just imagine,
apples.
Yeah.
like the lawyer, sitting down with the Hollywood and saying, "Just nominate the assistant.
Just
And
nominate it."
That it's gonna make it like everything
Yeah.
seem good, right?
Yeah. Have
and
you ever
then,
gone
know-
to confession? It's kind of that vibe.
Greg,
we saw we.
We thought we.
Did we do all the assaults? We saw we.
Wow, it really is like the confessional.
Greg, I think you just picked a goose egg.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ryan.
No, Ryan, I absolutely agree. I don't think this has any real legs on it. And I honestly, it's because, one, I don't think that actress is that compelling. I know people.
Oh, in that
I really
movie?
don't.
No, come
I disagree.
on.
But more important than that, I think, and I'm sorry, I think it was an easy movie. I don't think it was particularly well done. I don't think.
What a misandrist you are.
Yeah, no, I don't think it created enough texture at all. It made, I mean, that's the thing. It was Hollywood thinking they were doing something good and critiquing themselves when what they did was create completely one-dimensional characters that could show, look, this, again, bad apple stuff. You know, it was, they made it caricatures of the violence that is institutional.
Instead of a culture of like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think it did a good job of what it
Do
was.
you know
trying to
so and so's over there doing rapes all the time?
All the
Sure,
time.
everybody knows that.
But I do like that it
That's the
clocked in
water
at
cooler
under
talk.
90 minutes. That was appreciated.
Boom.
It
Yeah.
should be nominated for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
truly.
dang, dude.
Yeah.
If you're less than 90 minutes, automatic 2.5 stars. And
Agreed.
then we'll go from there.
And we'll go
Yeah.
from there.
I
No,
want
I
this.
know.
So this is the anti-Weinstein, the assistant, not the
Yes.
Alexa
Not-
is evil
yeah.
techno thriller.
That's a fun one, though. I like that.
Oh, no, yeah, that's what I was talking about the whole time.
This is anti-Weinstein when Harvey can't get back into Hollywood and dresses like a Mrs. Doubtfire. Calls himself
Let's
anti-Weinstein.
make your movie, darling.
Yes, guys.
Miss Doubtfire ruled.
It did.
That felt ethical. That felt good and healthy. Ryan, your fourth pick. Pray tell.
I've got two I'm looking at right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with performance over movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going with One Night in Miami.
Yeah, smart. Pragmatic.
And I think that maybe I could get a female director nominated, but that would probably boot one of Greg's two female directors out.
Hey,
I
don't do that.
feel bad about that.
And it's hard to
Yeah.
know. I bet the legitimate question, whether or not they want to admit it, that the Academy voters will be asking is, do we do another black woman?
I know.
Or do you think it's
We
okay?
already did
Or can
that.
we slip in a white one and they won't notice? Like, I think that it is basically going to be a racialized question. Even though
I wish that was
I love
just a
Regina
joke.
King. I love
Yeah.
her. I've loved her since she was the fairy godmother in Hilary Duff and Chad Michael Murray's A Cinderella Story.
Okay, I'm just going to ignore all that. This also has an original song, which they can't nominate, like when Sam Cooke or the guy from Hamilton sings Sam Cooke's
Yeah.
A Change Is Going to Come.
Leslie Odom Jr.
But they can. They wrote an original song real quick to get a nomination, so I think that's going to be one. I think Leslie Odom is going to get one.
Real quick.
It's possible that it gets other stuff. It is a filmed play. Like, it's not my favorite movie of the year because it really is, even more than what did Greg pick?
The assistant.
Is there a lot of people sitting on different parts of the couch and then getting up and walking to the wall and be like, I know, Linda, and then walking to a different part of the couch and sitting down?
Yeah, and they're in a
Please
hotel
suck.
room the entire time. But throughout the entire movie, people all dressed in black will come in and sneak in and like take things out of the room. It's so weird. But no, it's definitely worth watching, and it's because of the performances, and hopefully I get a couple nommies out of this. It's not like I picked the assistant, Kate. That's insane.
Hey, that's hurtful.
True. Mike.
I'm nervous that this one made it this far, which feels like people are tapped into something I don't know about. But I think this will get supporting. I think this will get director, maybe a screenplay. But I'm putting it in fourth, Da Five Bloods.
Yeah.
That was my other
Smart,
one.
yeah.
That's a good pick.
Agreed.
Because Spike Lee, man, he makes
Yeah.
movies that make people talk and think.
Chatty
Well-
Chatty Bows Bows is getting two nominations.
Chatty Bobo. Rip.
Rip, Chatty Bobo, rip.
Rip away.
Rip it out. Rip away,
then,
Chatty. Rip away.
I'm forgetting his name. Del Rey?
Delroy Lindo.
Delroy Lindo. Yeah, and this is another one where the Oscars gets to sort of like watch what the Golden Globes does and then decide how they're going to, like, what do people say about what they did? Yeah. And completely ignoring this movie, people kind of panned that. And so I think that's got to be worth at least 3 noms.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I think that they will forever be apologizing for Do the Right Thing. I think that for the rest of Spike Lee's career, there's going to be some level of recompense for how that played out.
It's such a silly letdown because he told them in the title of his movie what they should do.
Yeah.
And they just refused to do the right thing.
He made it an imperative, and it was absolutely disregarded. I'm ready for my next pick. And I'm gonna go with a tried and true director, if nothing else. A couple of popular actors. I'm gonna go with Tenet.
The Loudies.
Yeah,
it's
the Loudies.
Movie.
That's the thing. Christopher Nolan he's Mr. Loudy. Sign me up, honestly, for anything that has Kenneth Branagh and Robert Pattinson. Two different schools, but boy, oh boy, do I love them both. And, I think that I think it's possible best director, definitely all the Loudies. I think cinematography is a good bet, production design probably. So, I think
the backwardies,
that's the way to go. Yeah, the backwardies.
Backwards of any movie.
We call the Loudy Awards the Loudies as a joke, but have you guys? I watched this movie in my home. And it was the loudest, like windows shaking the entire time. This movie is fucking loud.
That's its whole like reason to exist, right?
Yeah.
That's why he was like, "Watch it in theaters, please. It only matters."
Yeah,
I want to shake the shit out of you with my big speakers.
Oh yeah, I think Christopher Nolan is a director who kind of relies on in-theater shticks, like Inception. A bad movie to begin with, really lacked the gusto that it needed when you were watching it in your friend's family room. Really wasn't conveying whatever it was he was trying to get across. Okay, so my turn again, correct? Or are we waiting? Should we take a quick
break? Let's do it.
Okay, excellent. My next choice is based on a lot of powerhouse women who are all very much loved by the Academy. I would think Ammonite is going to clean up a couple of at least supporting actresses noms. And it's a period piece. It's an English period piece. I believe.
So costumes, maybe.
I think it's vaguely gay. I haven't seen it. But no, it's not even vaguely. I remember because Kate Winslet said at some, I think, internet famously now, that it's not like eating a sandwich, and no one knows what she means by that in terms of sex scenes with Saoirse Ronan. But they choreographed it themselves. So I think gay lady and the ladies being Kate and Saoirse, like, I think they're probably going to be gatey, if you will. And I do think
this is this year's Carol.
Yeah, this is Carol. Absolutely.
It's nowhere near as gay as its sequel, Ammonite in Miami, which when they go to that town, they
Miami. You never know what's going to happen down there.
What do we have? Kate Winslet in this movie?
Yeah. Kate Winslet, Fiona Shaw. That's a fan favorite. So
Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse.
I agree that it's not like eating a sandwich, but like.
I guess it depends on the sandwich.
That's the thing. It's not that
what
you're
does she
wrong,
mean when
Kate
she
Winslet, but I'm asking you, explain what is the sandwich in this circumstance.
It's not like eating a Dairy Queen Blizzard either.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things it's not like.
And you know what?
Is it just an orientation thing?
Though I will be honest, of all the things that it could be like, eating something isn't a crazy guess. So, in fact, I think that she might be just wrong from kind of horn to hoof.
Also like sandwich. I mean, that's not the most dissimilar thing for like. It's the nearness of what she said.
Yeah,
that is actually most puzzling. If it were totally a field, because it still speaks to really not understanding what's going on in the whole.
Uncunty Valley, maybe.
I'm gonna go. I'm assuming.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
I don't know how we pull out of Uncunty Valley, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, we know you don't, bro.
That's why I have so many kids.
Right,
I'm gonna go for one OG screenplay. I don't have a big list left, so I just know it's going to get best screenplay. They don't like comedy, and they don't want to ever reward comedy. But the buzz this movie had throughout it, and it was great, is I'm going to give it Palm Springs.
Yeah, they definitely been talking about that for screenplay.
Does that seem like a goose egg, Ryan? Does that seem like a 0 nomination?
Yes, I think that that's a fucking goose egg for sure.
Fucking goose egg.
Wait till you see what I pick.
I mean, I think it's.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to. I think it's your turn.
When we come back,
Oh,
I'm gonna
Mike
make my
jumped the gun.
pick.
Okay.
No,
So
no,
goodbye?
I'm gonna pick right now.
No, Ryan's just being a bad man.
You're just being awful.
I was
Okay,
teasing
continue.
my pick. All right, so I know that Ammonite and Palm Springs seem ridiculous, but I'm going to look at the Academy, and I'm going to pick something that seems even more ridiculous. But let's look at costumes. Let's look at
Goose Egg, the movie.
Let's look at visual effects. I'm gonna override Goose Egg the movie. I don't think that it was very good, and I'm going to pick Mulan.
Wow.
Dang.
I'm going to be honest. Brave.
That seems like a goose egg.
Yeah.
You seem like a goose egg.
That seems like a big stinking 0.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to want anybody to talk about
yeah,
Weiger
I think
camps
no one's going
on
to want to
stage.
touch it. I think no one is going to want to touch it.
By the way, Oscar nominations are announced at like 5:15 in the morning. All y'all are gonna get texts every time Mulan gets nominated for a goddamn Oscar.
Dog, I'm going to be up anyway, so text away. You try to text
Joke's on
earlier
you.
than I get
I'm an
up.
early riser.
Boom. Boom. Perfect comeback.
Greg will have
once
been
again.
on the bike for an hour.
Okay,
But yeah,
Greg.
that was my last pick, and it's
Yeah.
Mulan.
Wow, that's surprising.
bold choice. Greg.
Every time you have a surprising pick, Ryan, I'm always like, man, he finally made a bad pick, and then it turns out to not be bad.
18
So
goddamn nominations somehow.
yeah, I'm surprised. Apparently, Mulan's going to be nominated for an Oscar. I did not know that. But I will find out that
Now you know.
that's the case. Yeah, now I know. I don't. This is one of those where I'm like, did somebody just not say this? And maybe I just didn't hear. But is never, rarely, sometimes, always been picked?
It has
No,
not.
but it's
It's just-
Okay.
It never was.
It's
So
just
this
not gonna-
movie is
Good.
Is I have not seen it, but it's supposed to be very good. It's about very important topics about abortion and access to abortion. And it just if I could put on my cynical hat for a second, so I'll have to take off this goofy hat that I'm wearing. It feels like it's kind of full of the leftist messages that Hollywood. Even though I'm sure the movie is a very complicated look at its subject matter, it's so easy to pitch it as just like, yeah, abortion matters to us lefties. So I think that's the reason it's going to get nominated.
Is it nuanced because it deals with what you're supposed to do when a dentist tells your mom she should have had an abortion?
very,
Had an abortion?
very sincerely.
Had an abortion.
Had an
I think-
abortion?
Yeah, Greg, I think
Abortion?
you're right in that it probably just for the name of the game in terms of abortion. But what makes that movie so good is the chemistry between those two actresses and the story about their intimacy.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think that's going to go recognized. I don't think either of those actresses are going to get any sort of recognition. But yeah, there'll be some, what do you call it?
Greg
Fan
has
service?
definitely. Yeah, Greg has definitely done the best job of coming up with the best 5 movies of the year.
yeah.
Like, his list is awesome, and like, they're all good movies.
Wait,
Yeah.
I love my list. Fuck you,
Man, I am
Greg's
glad
gonna
I
get
did not listen to
decimated.
the instructions. Not a winning hand, but a strong hand.
I have a bone to pick with that. Kate said no, but very sincerely, and asked her question, where I also had a pretty sincere question about the movie as it pertains to Sum 41. Move on.
Oh, I thought you spoke as if you were about to pose a question. So we all
No.
gave you the space you needed. Before
I just don't know how humans tone things or say things.
Yeah, that's why you're caught in the uncunty valley.
Oh, no, not again.
Bit of a callback to something I
Yeah.
said earlier. Superfans will remember.
Before I lock into reading aloud all of our teams, Ryan, it seems like your success is storied. What is your secret? How do you, I mean, what really, like, where do you, is it just confidence? Is it just bald-faced confidence, you telling everyone what is true and what is not? Or where does your expertise come?
My expertise comes from a couple ways, Kate, and thank you so much for asking. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing
Hello.
well. How are you?
I go up, I raise an eyebrow, and I disregard my heart or feelings towards movies and just understand what a fucking decrepit, corrupt piece of shit the Academy is. And completely remove my opinion. We are about to enter we have already entered the 2020 season, and that is where I will argue my heart. But for tonight and one night only, I just know there's stupid idiot reasonings for stupid ass things, and then I pick accordingly.
Yeah, Ryan, to steal and modify a quote from As Good as It Gets. How do I know what the Academy's going to do? I just take a person and then remove like discretion and intellect. And that's how I know exactly what the Academy's going to do.
What is that? What is that? White? I love it. Wait, hold on. What is that? Super black? I love it. And then I just list them and then I pick them.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
And I never watch any movie.
Yeah.
And
I gotta say, I was nervous because 2020 is a weird year, and I know that we're gonna get to the team rundown, but I was nervous that because 2020 was so weird that this was gonna be the first time I lost. I motherfucking decimated you guys. Like this is
no, Ryan. I think I did really
Mulan.
well. Ryan, I think I did really well. I think I did better than the other two. I think I did a good job.
Let's go through them team by team, but
Ryan, I think I'm a good girl.
No, Ryan, I think I did. I'm a very, very good girl, and I'm really hoping you notice.
Oh no!
going through our teams now. My team, the Trial of the Chicago 7, which I think it's much better than Mank in terms of service to the Academy.
We'll see.
News of the World, which is also an excellent choice. Sound of Metal, Tenet, and Ammonite. Mike, your team this year: Nomadland,
Nice.
Minari, Judas and the Black Messiah, The Five Bloods, and Palm Springs.
Yeah, that's great. There's no Les Mis pick in my. I'm not embarrassed at all this year.
No, I think you did a good job.
Palm Springs is a goose egg, but those other
You're
four.
a goose egg.
No, Ryan's team is Mank, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, The Father, One Night in Miami, and Mulan.
The Sicilian's coming out.
Yeah, exactly. We actually, in my family, call it Miam.
Oh, because you're East Coast.
Yeah, I cut off that last vowel. Greg, your team: First Cow, Promising Young Woman, the same thing. Soul, The Assistant, Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Only.
All right.
What
Greg
group
loses.
would you most want to hang out with? I got the cow and the killer lady.
Yeah.
The one thing that we know for sure, it's hard to make predictions because the Academy is so crazy and awful, but Greg is in last place no matter what.
Yeah, as long as we can all agree on that, I'm good.
Agreed.
That's hurtful.
No, but
That's
you
hurtful.
you do have your team is the team I'd want to hang out with after the game.
Thank you. That's all I ask. That's all I was
Yeah.
trying to do.
I think you foster a really healthy culture, and I think that you guys probably feel like family.
Honestly, most of the culture comes from the cow.
And then I think the second bet is
Dairy joke.
Kate and Mike, who's going to get second? And I think that's a really interesting question.
I think
Ryan
it
will
is
get
too.
second.
Oh, dang.
I
Very
think
saucy
I
in
might,
here.
I think I might get first. Don't tell anyone. But I think
How
I might.
upset Ryan looked when I said that is why he sucks.
Oh, wait till one of you get first, and it's just going to be holes in all this drywall.
No, I know. I can't wait.
Yeah, all the Post-its behind Ryan are actually times he's punched when somebody got a movie thing more correct than him.
He's got.
I just have
his
a post-it
fist.
note size fist.
And each Post-it says, "Do not hit wall."
You do crane style.
He's on each of the post-its. He drew a picture of Rita Hayworth.
Who I hate. Kate, do you know how to outro this shit? Do you know
I think
all the advertisements?
outro, I have to tell you, is it kind of prompt you guys to talk about yourpopfilter.com / your guys' relationship to Amazon. You guys have a Patreon. Is there anything I'm missing?
Well, yeah. Who do you want to talk about that?
Say that again?
Yourpopfilter.com is the place that you can go to get all the podcasts you want. Yourpopfilter.com / Amazon should be your new bookmark for all of your shopping. And of course, patreon.com / yourpopfilter is where you should go. And $5, guys, $5 a month. Super easy. We would really appreciate it. Thank you.
And you
Goodbye.
get things. It's not just give us money.
Yeah.
And you get things.
If you want to hear our predictions for the 2021 Oscars, yes, we're looking a whole year ahead. Patreon, bitches.
And
Yeah.
I have a couple boudoir photos on there that are
Yeah.
not tasteful.
It's also
but
Greg's
they
OnlyFans.
Also not very attractive.
Yeah.
Our Patreon is Greg's OnlyFans.
Yeah.
It is. I never paid for porn before this year when Greg started posting. it.
Yeah.
That's my butt.
Men's butts.
Yeah, I know. They're so silly.
No thanks.
If that's your ballywick, then no offense, but they're so silly. Otherwise,
only in, wow, you love the word ballywick. I've heard you use it 7 or so times, and I've met you thrice.
Kate, I don't know if you can tell. He does have Shakespeare.
He does have Shakespeare
behind his head.
Very true. Okay, it seems like we have covered everything we need to cover for this. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you guys for having me on. I cannot wait to do surprisingly well. And we'll see you guys when we know how the Oscars play out. Bye-bye.